Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Wuthering Waves reaction. Today we have Chains of Oath, Echoes of Promise. A lot of people wanted me to get to this one, almost 200, which might actually be capping out or very least topping the list of how many likes for a single comment I've ever gotten within this time period on the channel. So clearly you guys want me to hear this, and I'm definitely going to be listening to it. The last one was beautiful, and I can't wait to hear what I guess is kind of a successor, if not a spiritual successor. So I guess without further ado, let's go!
I can hear the bell of fate sound. It's high time to turn it around.
A completely different vibe, okay.
Will the prophecy manifest? Will I be the maiden who's blessed?
Obviously still the same story.
Walk down the glory path, bring honor and brightness back.
Ooh. I love the choice of how she did the vocals at that spot. I'll get into it later.
There's no turning back this time.
Oh! Okay, it's more like a reprise then, in a way.
Will the laurel be placed on my head one day?
So just a kind of a sadder version of the other.
Making joy.
Okay. Digging into the emotional impact more. All right. Go off with your Kingdom Hearts-esque piano. Love it. Beautiful interlude there.
Walk down the glory path, bring honor and brightness back. Wipe out all the enemies inside. There's no turning back.
Paid attention to the harmony more at that time. Really cool notes. Really cool choice.
Will the laurel be placed on my head one day? We shall.
I really didn't think this would be like a different perspective of the other song. I thought it would be completely different. Oop. Oh, they're ending it that way. With a full resolve. It's nice sometimes when you get a resolve. I would have honestly expected a song like that to end without one, because it would make it feel more like there's still more story to come, but maybe there's not. This version of the song ended with a lot of finality. It had a clear image, a clear vision of what it wanted to be and what it wanted to portray, and it did that beautifully. It was kind of interesting hearing it from this perspective, because the last one, you were hearing it kind of from a pseudo-hybrid perspective of somebody singing about this character and their trials and tribulations, and now you have this version, which is more like the character's inner thoughts and how they're perceiving this scenario in their life. It's very much a different energy, where one is almost praising and exalting them for feats beyond their imagination as a hero in some sort of a context, despite it kind of having a little bit of a loose narrative when it comes to that because of that hybrid perspective, but you get what I mean. The tone is completely different. This one is the reality of the situation, the pressure that they have in this moment, and we're getting the chance to see that, which is really rare. And that's usually what reprises are for in like musical theater and other things. When you bring back a motif from something, it's usually shifted into a different genre, or at very least it's rearranged to sound a little bit more melancholic or a little bit more energetic, depending on what you need for the scene. This just takes that entire song, lyrics as well, at least a portion of them for I think the pre-chorus and chorus were like all the same. And it almost sounds like her like trudging her way home, like completely defeated mentally and physically. And even though people are talking about it in the context of the first one, and that's how you're kind of expecting the story to have gone, this is the real nitty-gritty of that situation, is that it kind of sucked a lot. And having that perspective is really neat because you don't often get that, because even with normal reprises, it's usually just there to kind of be an accentual thing, a little bit of an ornamentation on top of a different scene. It's supposed to recall that moment and that motif in order for you to kind of go, oh hey, I remember that, yeah, that's cool. The main difference there is that usually it's the same character singing it and you're getting their perspective change from the one you already saw earlier in the show. So like if they're singing it and they're happy, and then later they've learned a lot between that point and now they're reflecting on that song, they'll sing it again, it'll be a big emotional change. So you get to see the payoff of that internal struggle instead of just a third party mention of it. Some random person in a bar somewhere is a completely different perspective than the person who lived it, and that's what we got here. And there's even a sense of regret in this, like the things that they had to do in order to get to where they are didn't feel like it was enough to me. Like it feels like they're regretting these choices and decisions made in the moment, and now they have to live with that, and that's a lot of additional pressure as well. So not only do we get a different perspective, but the entire emotional pressure changes. And I love that vocally the singer is doing that in the voice and in the vowel shapes especially, in order to signify the difference of the darkness and the brighter perspective in this. Like literally at the beginning, that one spot that I mentioned it right at the start, they went from using a more open and like rounded vowel sound to pushing a lot more of their tone forward and kind of going up into their head voice and through the nose and kind of pinching off some of those vowel sounds a little bit more, and they made it a little bit more like harsh and crispy. So it went from this like darker sensation of like maybe that's their mentality, they're in a dark place, to now they kind of have this like aggression to it. There's this angst kind of cranking through their voice, a little bit of strain in there, but not necessarily an incorrect vocal technique by any means. It's just an emotional thing. It's the sort of thing you would do in a musical theater setting or something else of the sort, where you have to get that emotion through the voice. She did a phenomenal job with that. That was really, really well done, and at a perfect pivot point too. Coming into that mention of the glory path and bringing the brightness back and literally bringing the brightness into that, and kind of having this just anguish in there, this strain that like what they had to do to get to that point is just so difficult to live with for them, and it feels so raw, and I really like that they did that. They could have just sang it normally, they could have sang it flat and boring, but putting emotion into a song will always be the key way in order for people to resonate with the song. So she did a brilliant job with that. And I want to kind of step over myself here by saying that I didn't necessarily love how she performed it in the last one. She did fine, don't get me wrong, but there were certain things that she was doing vocally that aren't my personal favorites when it comes to that pinching and that emotional sort of adjustment. It didn't feel quite right in that one. This one felt so much more detail oriented and emotionally charged. It worked in this context. The other one, it was great, don't get me wrong. There were just some little nitpicky stuff that I'm not a fan of, but otherwise it was fine. This one, she went full out, nailed every single emotional cue in here, and it felt real every single time she was going through a phrase. It felt like I was feeling the emotion with the characters. And as an artist, and especially as a musician, one of your biggest goals is to be able to have people resonate with what you're saying and what you're doing. So like that is an absolute high praise for me. One of the highest praises I can offer is that I love how they did the emotional thing, because not a lot of people end up doing that. You can have a lot of great songs, a lot of great character songs and themes, but a lot of the time they just kind of sing it straight up and there's not too much going on emotionally. There are some, of course, but this one, nailed it. Just absolutely floored the competition with this one. She absolutely decimated them, and I love how it sounds. But yeah, it was really cool hearing the difference between these. I really did not anticipate them to be like two sides of the same coin and the same story from a different perspective. That is super cool to me, especially with how it was done and the changes of the emotional pressure in it and everything I've already talked about. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you have anything else from Wuthering Waves you want me to get to, of course, leave it in a comment down below and I will do my best to get to it as always. And if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!